The build-up has been really good. Everyone's really excited. The whole parish is getting behind us, and everyone's just really looking forward to today and hoping we perform on the day.
Tell me a little bit about the squad now going into it. It's always, I suppose, a worry with injuries and maybe niggling injuries, small knocks. Have you stayed relatively injury free?
Yeah, we stay. Yeah, injury-free is it's a big fight up for places, but no, we've no major injuries as of yet, anyway. So hopefully, all going well, we'll be 100% going into it.
That's one of the supposed the knacks maybe for any particular team going into a major final. There's friendly competition for places, but at the same time, nobody wants to go overboard, risk themselves or risk a teammate. So it's hard to get that balance maybe completely correct.
Yeah, it's hard. Everyone wants to go tough at training and put in 100%, but you just don't want to take the risk of getting hurt or hurting someone else. So, but everyone's raring to go and biting at the bit. So hopefully we'll have the strongest team out in the day.
With all due respect, you're probably going into the game as underdogs. Is that something you'd agree with?
Oh yes, yeah, Carrick are very strong, and they're off the back of a win last year. So we know they're very strong and we know they're very experienced. Yeah.
There's probably the consensus out there maybe that going in as underdogs, all the pressure is on St Mary's, but at the same time, with a club with the tradition, with the pride, the passion that Aughawillan have had in the past, there's probably that pressure maybe on the players, the current bunch of players, to deliver as well.
Yeah, no, we're not taking it lightly. We're not taking the foot off the pedal just because they are very hot favourites. Like, we're going to try and perform on the day and bring home the cup as much as any team in Aughawillan has had it. So we really are going to put it there in the day and see if we can do it.
The grounds here at Aughawillan where we're conducting this interview in the lead up to the final, I suppose there's so many great memories here when we look around the names of former players who represented Aughawillan and represented Leitrim with such pride and distinction over a long number of years. That tradition, is that something now that you can draw on? Is it something that's been talked about in the lead up to the final?
Yeah, it really has. We're trying to draw on it as much as we can, actually. Like, just seeing this, the will to win and the never die attitude. We're trying to carry that through to this year's final, and from the past teams trying to carry through to this team and this generation of players coming up.
I was told here when I arrived this evening that there was odds like something that maybe was a 60 to 1 of Aughawillan maybe going and winning the championship in 2014. So they were fairly generous odds at the very outset of the championship campaign. What has changed maybe in 2014 compared to previous years, or has this run been coming for a while with some decent underage teams now? That's I suppose, the combination of a few facts like that.
Yeah, it is. It's a mixture of a lot of things. We're a very young team coming up, and I suppose we're just maturing. A lot of us maturing nicely now this year, and we're out of college and started working and really starting to take it serious. Still with younger players, but yeah, it's been coming, and of course the new management and everyone's kicked it up a gear this year when things were going bad. So really all came together and it's come nicely now.
Give me your take on the opponents for Sunday, St Mary's.
They're we know they're very strong, and they're going to be red hot favourites. They're experienced, and we know we've seen them play, and like we know we're in for a titanic battle, but we're really just going to hope that we can perform on the day and catch them, see what happens.
You had the opportunity, I presume, maybe to look at them in the semi-final. They played 24 hours after your game against Allen Gales. They defeated Kiltoghert Manor. Was that a game where the Aughawillan team went en masse to have a look at them?
Yeah, we were. Well, a few of us were there anyway. Yeah, we had a look, and it was a good match. It was tit for tat for a while, and until the penalty was missed, and Carrick really pushed on, and their experience shone through. So we know we can't. We have no room for mistakes, and we're going to try and bring that all into the match anyway.
When you look back in your own championship campaign, the first two games in the group stages ended in defeat against Kiltoghert Manor and against St Mary's. So there was a vital game against Melvin Gales after that, then the playoff against Carrigallen, then the Letrim game, then the Allen Gales game. So when the chips were down and it got to maybe the old traditional knockout, the safety blanket was gone, you couldn't afford to lose a game. That's when Aughawillan seemed to strive really in those conditions.
Yeah, we really knew we had to stand up. We knew we didn't belong in the relegation battle, and we knew we have a good enough team to be contesting championships. And it's just getting it right on the day, and thankfully when push came to shove, we really did push on, and everything came through, and we got the better of them teams. So, yeah.
Well, some of the buzzwords we hear now in the lead up to all big games, be it inter-county or at club level, is these matchups and the potential matchups that can take place. Is that something that you're looking at now, maybe the player on a personal basis that could be picking you up on Sunday, or is it maybe more of an emphasis on teamwork, team effort going into it?
Yeah, no, not really on individuals. It's more the team and how the team gets behind each other and just encourages each other and gets through the day. It's all coming down to the team. It's not going to be to any one individual. So we're just concentrating on the team and the teamwork going in on the day. So
Finally, the Aughawillan game plan that we've seen against Alan Gales, I think it might be fair to say that you like to move the ball fast, you like to adopt a running game. I presume that's maybe something you want to try and use again against the St Mary's team. Again, maybe with all due respect, that might be, that at least from the outset look to be more physically stronger, maybe a more physical, powerful unit than Aughawillan. So to move the ball fast is going to be absolutely crucial and not get drawn into a dogfight.
Yeah, we'll play our own game and try and stick to our strengths and kind of see what they bring to the pitch and kind of counter attack it and see what happens. Then we'll try and move the ball as quick as possible and use our strengths. So
the buzz is good, John. Yeah, everyone's excited. It's a long time since we were there before, and the flags are out, the bunting, and people are looking forward to it.
It's hard to believe maybe that a whole generation of followers of Gaelic football in Leitrim might not have seen Aughawillan in a final going back to 1994, so it's a long time gap, but as a result of that it makes it all the extra special.
Oh, it's very special, John. Yeah, I was just saying the other day though, there's some of the players in the team weren't even born when we won the last one. I was 6 myself, so I really don't remember that much of it, so it's going to be special now, and hopefully it goes the right way.
Coming down here this evening, even passing through Ballinamoor, and to see Shauna Heslin's preparing for an intermediate final as well, there's almost a feeling maybe that the good times are back, where this was such a stronghold in Leitrim football in the past. Those rivalries could be coming maybe to fruition again.
Well, hopefully, John, yeah. We'd hope now this isn't just a flash in the pan, that we'd be able to keep it going for a few years anyway and keep ourselves up at the top table in Leitrim football, because we think we're well able for it, and look, we'll see when the game comes around.
The fact that you're secretary as well, maybe you're in a better position than most to answer this. How important is it for the development of this particular team now that you've reached the county final, and maybe for the whole development of the club, that Aughawillan are in there again in the blue ribbon event of Leitrim football?
Yeah, it's very important, because younger players now will be looking up, and success breeds success. Mm-hmm. So we'd hope again that if we're successful Sunday, or even if we're not, but that the younger players will come out in force, or more keep playing football and enjoy it more. And I suppose, like I said, they're looking up to the team, and hopefully success will breed success.
You played St Mary's once already in the championship this year in the group stages. From playing that game, how would you assess them now come Sunday?
Carrick are a very good team. They're always strong. They've big men around the middle of the field, and they've got one over on us twice this year. Mm-hmm. So I suppose they'll be maybe expecting the same again from us. So look, we've nothing to fear, I suppose, going into it. But we know it's a huge task. They're current champions, and like I said, they're very good footballers dotted all around the field. So it's going to be a huge task for us.
Can I take you back to the spring of 2014 when the draws were made for the championship, and there you are pitted in there in what everybody was describing as the group of death, with three of the most recent county champions in Leitrim, Glencarmanor, Hamilton, St Mary's and Melvin Gales. Was there, I suppose, an extra drive in the team at training when you came back after that to know that you were in there with the big boys to survive? You were going to have to win one of those games. You managed that against Melvin Gales, but maybe was that perhaps a catalyst for where it has taken Aughawillan this year?
Yeah, it definitely was, John. Whereas some people might have been fearful of going into it. I know myself, I was looking forward to playing the three. You're marking yourself up against what was considered the three best teams in the county over the last seven or 8 years. And it did go down to the wire, all right. We needed to win the Melvin Gales game. We did that and won the playoff. So yeah, it was an extra catalyst knowing we were playing the three best teams in the county.
To get those wins against Carrigallen and against Letrim as well, even ahead of that match against Alan Gales, they were great character builders. Yeah,
very much so, John. Yeah, again, the Carrigallen game went down to the wire, and it was probably the tightest game of the three. And they brought all the players on, confidence-wise, knowing that you could still pull it out of the bag coming into the last 10 minutes if you were only 1 or 2 points up or 1 or 2 points down.
Describe the Aughawillan team to me. What's the success built on so far? Is it a great work ethic, a team spirit? Maybe, with all due respect to all the players, maybe no standout marquee name. So it'll probably come down to to determine whether you're successful or not, how the individual battles go against St Mary's and which team that can win the most of those.
Yeah, I suppose it'll be the team that makes the least mistakes, John, and who's hungrier for it. Like you said, we've no standout marquee players. We've no one on the county senior panel. We've a couple of county minors, very good players. But yeah, the individual battles will be very important.
Tell me a little bit what Sean Pearson has brought to it on his management team this year.
He's very passionate, Sean. So he's given us very good drive, and he gets the best out of all the players.
So much has been said about Donegal's will to win and their own self-belief in the last few weeks, and especially maybe in the game against Dublin and indeed leading into the All-Ireland final against Kerry. Self-belief now is going to be vitally important for Aughawillan. The experts are probably going to be writing you off. With all due respect, you're going to go in maybe as underdogs. So you have to take that self-belief. Is it there in Aughawillan now? Do you believe enough in yourselves that you can go and beat St Mary's?
You have to, yeah. We do believe. There's no point in going to it if you didn't believe. So yeah, the belief is there, and we'll give it a good rattle anyway.
And finally, it'd be great to get all the formalities out of the way. I presume you're looking forward now to Sunday, 3:30, and the ball being thrown in, and that's really where the serious business is going to begin.
Yeah, can't wait, John.
It's a massive achievement and honour for me, for Aughawillan, these lads to have the belief and me to be captain, and just I'm looking very proud to leading the boys out onto the pitch after such a long wait, 20 years. So
yeah.
Hopefully.
It was very generous odds on Aughawillan at the very start of the year, so it must be great maybe to be this far and proving a few people wrong.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like underdogs the whole year round, and to just go out and to prove to everyone like that we can do it. Like when you put your mind to it, like anyone can be as good as the try. Like.
The new championship structure in Letrim this year was ultra competitive, to say the least, and indeed going into the final group game, everything was riding on it. So really, I suppose when you look back on it, from the Melvin Gales match onwards, they were all traditional knockout games, and that's really seemed to be where Aughawillan really stood up to the plate. The safety blanket was gone. It was a situation of dog eat dog, and you came out of all those tests so far.
Yeah, look, that Melvin Gales game, like it was winner brings all. Like so, like from then on, like we had to win. Like we knew it was at stake. Like so. There was no other option. We had to just go out and try and come up with a different game plan every day to beat our opposition, and fortunately it's went that way so far. So
were you in any ways, from having played the two teams in the group stages, were you in any way surprised that St Mary's overcame Glencarmanor for the second place in the final?
Yeah, I suppose it was a bit of a shock to like a few people around the county, but look, Carrick and Shannon, they're a very good strong teams. They are like the reigning champions, Letrim, and like they're getting better as the years come on too, like getting players back and everyone getting fitter and everything. Like so, look, they wanted it more on the day, and that's all that mattered. Like
everybody seems to be moving fairly well now in the lead up to the game. Injury free going into it is always a big plus.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, everyone's great atmosphere down around here, as you can see yourself, and everyone's just looking real forward to the big day now. So.
Yeah. Do you find any extra responsibility as captain of the team? Obviously, I suppose there's a collective responsibility for everybody to do well, but at the same time, it's a lot of it is concentrating on your own performance and getting that right first and foremost come the final.
Yeah, look, it's a big task at the end of the day, like, but just every day you just want to go out and be your best, like on the pitch, and try setting leadership and example, like to the rest of the players, like, and try encourage everybody as you go on throughout the year, like, and hopefully now.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about St Mary's in the sense that they won the semi-final against Glencarmanor Hamilton without some very recognisable figures in the team. The Lows were missing, for instance, in that particular game. But at the same time, from having played them yourselves, and indeed from maybe your neighbours out the road, Drumreilly, having a fair old crack at them as well in the championship, there's maybe a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde for them as well. Yes, they were brilliant against Glencarmanor Hamilton, but they mightn't have that consistency all the time.
Well, look, St Mary's, they're kind of like, they're a championship team. Like they know how to do it when it comes to that day. Like even though they were missing players, like they still knew how to pull it out of the bag. Like so, like they're going to be a tough opposition. Like, but yeah, hopefully we'll make a good game of it, anyways.
The game is going to be fascinating to watch, I suppose, in the sense there's maybe two contrasting styles in it, and a lot of teams maybe sometimes overanalyse maybe the opposition going into it. It's all about getting your own game plan right. What has stood to you well so far throughout the year, that's really, I suppose, maybe to hone in on that to make sure that that's in perfect working order come Sunday.
Yeah, look, we've just taken one game at a time, like, and just worked on that one game, like, and every game's like, just we have to win every game we go out to, and that's what we're just trying to do, just taking one game at a time, like.
I'd be from a generation where I can remember great Aughawillan teams back here in the 80s and indeed in the early part of the 1990s. 20 years since they've won a county championship. But when you think of the names like some Mickey Quinn, Declan Darcy, Jerry Flanagan, names like these that just roll off the top of one's tongue, I suppose the current bunch of players, you're all aware of that proud tradition, that great history that's in the club, and it'll be fantastic for this current generation now to rewrite the history books.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I suppose like we've had a very good underage structure, like with like Sir Martin Flanagan and Damien Gleaney and the Quinns, like bringing us, and they tried their best for us, like, and we were fortunate to like win every medal you could, like in underage. Like they had a great underage structure, and they always tried to make us the best footballers. Like they always wanted us to get the best out of ourselves, like, and hopefully now we can try and bring that tradition back into the club, like, and just show everyone that it's not gone.
Yeah. That underage success that you've just referred to there, that would be the cornerstone maybe where the current success is built on at senior level.
Yeah, look, last year we won another 21 championship, and on this current team there's 8 players starting on this team that started another 21 championship last year. So look, it's very good. It's a very young team, like, and the future looks bright here. So. Yeah. Hopefully. And to be in Carrick and Shannon at the end of September, to be there for county final day, it's really what it's all about for every club footballer. That's I suppose the big ambition. Obviously it's one thing playing county football, but for the club to be there come county final day, that's really what it's all about, to be leading the team out. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, even with all the support, like travelling to every game all year, since the last 20 years, like since we've won, they've never stopped like going supporting us and believing in us, and it's just great for the whole community now, like, to see us back in the county final after so long, like, so. Yeah. It's I suppose the perfect casebook example of a county final where you've got the town team taking on maybe one of the clubs from the rural part of the county, and there'll be so many, I suppose, of the neutrals will be back in the underdog on Sunday, and hoping that you do well. It gives everybody a great lift. It gives other clubs a great lift to see that, Aughawillan, who were generous odds at the start of the year, can make it to a county final, so they'll be maybe taking some hope and inspiration from that. Yeah, look, I suppose when you look at it, when you work hard enough and you train hard and you listen to your managers and that, like, you can do what you want, like, when you actually believe in yourself, and like when you believe and you train hard and you put in the work, you will get places, like. Yeah, and St Mary's collectively and individually some very strong, talented players there as well, so it's going to be a big challenge. Yeah, it's going to be massive, like, and looking forward to it now, so hopefully it's going to be a good game now. We put in a big effort. Being honest with you, it's not bad. We're just getting a reward for a lot of hard work we put in all year. Good young bunch of boys there that rode into a bit of hard work, and there was not, as I said before, rocket science. You get what you put in. That's basically it. You've had 6 championship games now, 6 very competitive championship games. How would you assess Aughawillan now after seeing them in action in those 6 games? Some of those matches went right down to the wire. Well, as I said there, we're coming from a very small panel, and we knew that we would get stronger as the competition went on, but then you had to stay in the competition to get stronger. And in all fairness, at times we rode our luck. I'll not say we didn't, but a lot of injuries is after clearing up, and being honest with you, I don't think there's a kick of a ball between a lot of the teams. So at the end of the day, we're where we are and where we want to be. Tell me a little bit about maybe when it comes to preparing the players now for a final like this. You're coming into a club with an absolutely magnificent pedigree, a very proud tradition, maybe a sleeping giant for 20 years, 1994, the last time Aughawillan were in a county final. So there's sure to be a great buzz around the place, great excitement. It's the talk of really the parish over the past while. How do you make sure maybe the players enjoy that, but at the same time remain totally focused going into a final? Well, being honest with you hit the nail on the head. They have the pedigree, so all we have to do is keep them level-headed and keep their feet firmly on the ground, which wasn't that big of a job to do, because a lot of them is very level, well-educated men. So we knew at the beginning of the year, if we put in the work, that this could be the final outcome. So we were gearing up to this all year, and it's a kind of a step-by-step process to get into the boys' heads, to keep them on a level footing. And in all fairness, they stuck at it, and it's back to hard work again and keeping the things simple and just going on with it and taking it and enjoying it, because getting to a senior county final, it doesn't come every day of the week. It's 20 years since they were here. It's far too long. And in all fairness, I come from a club myself where we had lots and lots of success, and we never took it for granted, and these boys are in the same mode. We try to bring, myself and Gary, from the Gowna thing, we try to bring that sort of experience to the plate, that you take nothing for granted in this life, and you just enjoy it, and you keep working, and you get your just rewards. Let's talk a little bit about the opposition on Sunday. St Mary's, the defending county champions. You'd have played them once in the league, once in the championship this year already. How would you assess them? How would you rate them? St Mary's, St Mary's and Manor Hamilton, and they have been the kingpins of Letrim football this last few years. St Mary's, you have to give credit where credit is due. They're getting to their back-to-back county finals.
as far as I'm concerned, it's a serious achievement, and to get to there, because the first year, as you've said there, the euphoria, maybe you're winning one, and then you have to knuckle back down to work, and then you have to work twice as hard to get where you want to be. And in all fairness, to have done that, it's not going to be easy Sunday week. But at the end of the day, we are there to do a job, they're there to do a job, and all I hope is that it's fitting for the occasion.
Would you say there was maybe a big contrast between the two semi-finals? So you played a very attractive, an attacking, a running type of football in the game against Allen Gales. St Mary's looked to be a very big, strong, physical unit, especially there's a diamond around the middle of the field there where they're very strong. Aughawillan would maybe have a younger team, maybe a lighter team, maybe not as far on in the physical development stakes as of yet. So is that something? I know it's something you're aware of going into it. Do you set up your game plan maybe to counteract that?
Look, at St Mary's is a big physical team. They have big men in most of the central positions. They have a lot of experience bringing it to the plate. Like as you said there, we're a young outfit coming along. We've sprinklings of experience throughout it. So look, you have to pit yourself against the best to see where you're at. And at this stage, St Mary's, they're the champions. They're there in their second consecutive final, and if we don't arrive, they'll trample all over us. So at the end of the day, they're the benchmark that we have to reach, and hopefully we'll get near it there next Sunday, you know.
For preparation for the final, I suppose, maybe there's no doubt about it, Aughawillan's backs were to the wall, especially after losing the two opening games in the championship in the group stages. But the team showed great character, and the victory over Carrigallen, to beat Letrim as well, and obviously to win that semi-final against Allen Gales. So these have built, I suppose you could describe them maybe character-building games along the way.
Well, I'm a firm believer that sport builds character and hard work builds character, and like you have to have a never say die attitude, because at some stages in them games the kitchen sink was going to be through at you, so you had to be prepared to take it and get on with it, and don't feel sorry for yourself and just knuckle down. And as I said before, we have a lot of hard work done, and at no stage did I really think that character was an issue, because for the first 3 months of this year, and the wind and the snow and the rain running around this pitch here that we're looking at, that builds character. And as corners it goes on, to start gaining a little bit of confidence, and then the character and the confidence, when you get all that together and you get young able lads mad to do a job, it falls into place. And thanks be to God it did in the latter stages of the championship for us. But the first group stages there, it was a kind of a learning process for us all. We blooded a lot of young footballers this year in the league, and we blooded a few in the championship. We had injuries and we had and look, you have to start, as the fella says, your senior career somewhere, and that's where it was. And we done what we were supposed to do, and we're ending up where we want to be, and that's the bottom line as far as I'm concerned. It all boils down to the hard work.
For those of us that come from rural clubs, and you'd have witnessed it in Cavan as well, where Cavan Gales would have played clubs like Gowna, we've seen it in other counties. It's very similar now this time round. Aughawillan, a rural club against the big town club in Lynch, but there's a very special occasion. There's a great buzz around here in Aughawillan tonight, just over a week away now from the final.
Well, the thing about it is, that's it. When you're away from it for so long, what this club was in 20 years, it was going to bring a serious lift to the parish. It was going to bring a serious lift to everybody around. And like, we're playing the town team, as you've adhered to there, but at the same time, being honest with you, it's about 60 minutes of football, and whoever takes the mantle, that's where it'll all end up. I can't say, just we have prepared as good and as best we can, and hopefully that it'll be fitting of the occasion when we get to the bones of it next Sunday, you know.
And finally, looking forward to it, a clean bill of health going into it, so you'll be hoping now that everybody stays fit between now and the county final, and then let the best horse jump the ditch.
Well, that'll be an old saying of mine, John, the best horse jump the ditch. And like, we're fit, we're well. These boys deserve to be where they're at, because I always go back to the work, because without work we wouldn't be anywhere. It's a very, very traditional football club. I've come from a traditional football club myself that we had lots and lots of success, but that success come at a price of a lot of sacrifices and a lot of commitment to the job. And being honest with you, again, as you're right, John, the best horse will jump the ditch next Sunday. It'll boil down to 60-65 minutes of football, and at the end of the day, the only statistic that's going to count is the scoreboard. That's basically it.
The build-up has been really good. Everyone's really excited. The whole parish is getting behind us, and everyone's just really looking forward to the day and hoping we perform on the day.
Tell me a little bit about the squad now going into it. It's always, I suppose, a worry with injuries and maybe niggling injuries, small knocks. Have you stayed relatively injury free?
Yeah, we stay injury free. It's a big fight up for places, but no, we've no major injuries as of yet anyway, so hopefully all going well, we'll be 100% going into it.
That's one of the, supposed the knacks maybe for any particular team going into a major final. There's friendly competition for places, but at the same time nobody wants to go overboard, risk themselves or risk a teammate, so it's hard to get that balance maybe completely correct.
Yeah, it's hard. Everyone wants to go tough at training and put in 100%, but you just don't want to take the risk of getting hurt or hurting someone else. So, but everyone's raring to go and bite.